All right, we are going live with 404 concurrent viewers. Wow.
Right now it's 400.
Yep. Everyone a second to get in here. So chat, for those who can hear us right now, we are also going to be recording this as an episode of our podcast as well, because we are greaseballs who can't be bothered to do the extra work. So I think we're still going to read chat though, probably, because there's going to be some waiting.
Yeah.
Because we'll explain more once it starts, but is everyone good to go?
I've got Audacity open. Are we going to Audacity this, or are we just going to pull our audio?
I figured we just pull our audio.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Does the audio sound good, chat?
There you go. I'm just going to watch it through.
Okay. People are still saying ads, so I'll give them a second.
Yeah, it looks like chat's saying the audio sounds great.
Cool.
Cool.
Hello.
I guess I'll have
about
the EST chat open as well.
Sorry, go ahead.
20 red 5s are standing by as well.
A lot of red 5s.
Yeah. There was
Okay.
one Rainbow 69, so.
Hello and welcome everyone to a very special video or podcast episode, depending on where you're hearing / seeing this. We are preparing to see the gameplay reveal for Star Wars Squadrons. We are streaming this live on YouTube on the channel X2, and also on Corey. You on Corey Loses or Corey's
I am
datapad?
on Corey Loses, but I'm probably also going to post this on Corey's datapad because this is a podcast, Eck. It's our
Yes,
podcast.
It technically is. And we are joined by two very, very special people. We've got Charlie, who you guys have probably heard us make fun of many times on the podcast. Now you get to put a voice to those antics. And we have Mark from the Templin Institute.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
No problem.
Thanks for severely bullying me.
No
I
problem.
bullied my way into the podcast, so that's how I got here.
This actually makes you guys the two of only 3 guests that we've ever had on the podcast. Alex from Star Wars Explained beat you by about a year, and soon he's going to overtake you in appearances as well. So you're in the club for a small amount of time, is what I'm saying.
So
I'm happy with that.
the way this is going to work is EA Play starts in about 28 minutes from now. So it's 6:30 Eastern time right now. EA Play starts at 7, and then at some point after that, Star Wars Squadrons will be shown. There's a full set of gameplay. We don't know exactly when they'll play that. It could be, the first thing they show. It could be the last thing, but we don't really have any set time to stream or anything. So we'll just keep going until it's up,
Yeah.
and then discuss it and get all of our varied opinions and whatnot. It'll be fun.
So yeah, we're going to go into a bit of predictions. We'll kind of cover stuff as it happens with the EA Play. So this probably won't be exclusively Star Wars. I know Mark is hoping for maybe some Command and Conquer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you just stole my talking point. Thanks for that.
Well, I figured you had more to say than just Command and Conquer at some point during the show.
That was it.
All right, well, thanks for joining us, Mark. He's going to be heading off now.
You were rehearsing that line for like ages before the stream as well.
Yeah, I was just saying Command and Conquer, and they just...
For the audio listeners, I know you usually hold TapCaf transmissions on such a high standard for audio quality. This will probably be a bit weirder of an episode because we are going to be reporting on video as it happens that you probably can't see. But yeah,
I might cut some of that. We'll see. We'll see how lazy I am when it comes to like actually editing this thing down. Whether
just
I
do
upload it on
describe video under.
The starfighter flew by the screen.
Also,
like 20 times.
Thank you, Isaac, for the donation.
Yep.
I witnessed you. Thank you. Are we reading donations?
Presumably, you're going to be covering the whole show, right? So if they show off starfighters in the very first minute, you're not just going to stop after that, right?
Yeah, because I was figuring we'd do the whole show, and then they probably won't post the full trailer that we could watch over again until after EA Play is over. So we'll just have
There's
to play it
always
by
a
ear.
chance there'll be more Star Wars stuff to come, so we don't want to just cut it off.
Yeah, we could have EAW2 announced to the surprise of us all.
I highly doubt that. I hope not.
So, Charlie, we haven't heard from you. What did you think of the first trailer for the game? And what are your expectations for EA Play, if you have any?
I was reading a lot of the articles about how like this was a response to quickly pumping out more Star Wars games with EA's license.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember you tweeting out that, this is going to be not as big as some people expect, but this was in-game engine footage, and I think this is going to be as big as people expect it to be for sure, because this is super impressive for the fact that that's all in engine.
Yeah, and I mean it is a budget game as well. It's like $40, I think, American.
Yeah.
So, and they said specifically no microtransactions. Everything can be earned in game. So I'm kind of surprised.
Is it no microtransactions at all, or is it no microtransactions that impact gameplay?
So far, they said
'cause I believe they've
everything
ruled
is
out-
earned through gameplay or in-game currency, which I guess you could buy in-game currency. I don't know exactly what the wording was, but it seemed to me like it was all earned,
Yeah.
but hard to say.
I don't think like cosmetic purchases have been ruled out, which I get. I don't have a problem with
Yeah,
that.
no,
If
me
that's the
neither.
road they go down. But it does sound like there is no pay to win or none of the stuff that was really criticized under Battlefront 2's launch.
I'd like cosmetics. I'm that type of person that'll dump $2,000 on this game.
Pink X-wing with like a some sort of schoolgirl on the side.
It's aesthetic, guys. Stop bullying me.
Anime Squadrons standing by.
What about you, Mark?
This is why you're not allowed to put in your own graphics, because we just can't handle that.
Weeaboo Squadron, the most effective in the Outer Rim. You seemed pretty excited about this, though, Mark, based on the chat afterward.
Yeah, like I'm a little like I'm not sure what to expect from this game, because like the $40 has me kind of wary.
Yeah, me too.
Because I would have said that the first Battlefront should have been a $40 game with a level of depth that had. So if this is going to be even less than that, well, maybe if it's just like no ground stuff in all space, that kind of makes sense. But this is also a game where I think the whole games as a service model like actually makes some sense. Like I would love it if over the next 2 years they added B-wings and TIE whatevers and like more cosmetic stuff like Corey was saying. Because I wouldn't mind microtransactions if I can play as I don't know, one of those like red TIE fighters. I'm sure they have a name. One of the red ones.
Yeah.
A Royal Guard TIE fighter.
Yeah.
From X-Wing, let's say.
Red TIE fireworks.
As for EA Play, there was, like Corey stole my thunder. There was a little mention of CNC in this teaser they put out for EA Play. So if they announce a new Command & Conquer game during this, I might have 6 simultaneous heart attacks.
So do you think it's more likely that it would be that, thank you, Brady, or that it would be like an announcement for Generals Remastered or something? Because it seems like that's more reasonable with what's going on with Petroglyph having just done the remasters of RA1 and Command & Conquer 1.
Well, presumably anything they'd announce would have already been in the works for a while.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if they'd announce a new CNC title until they had better numbers on how the remasters are doing. I don't think they'd take that big a risk. So I expect like Tiberian Sun Remastered and Red Alert 2 or Generals or something. But if it is a new CNC title, then EA is going out on a bit of a, I don't know, they're taking a risk. So
Could be
It would
another
also
mobile game.
mean...
They announced a mobile game like 2 years ago, and it was actually kind of fun. Or maybe it was 3
Was
years
it?
ago. Yeah.
Was
I
that
remember-
by... Who made that?
I don't know if it was... I don't know what company made it, but it was like not traditional Command & Conquer gameplay. It was kind of more like a MOBA. And they had like a big tournament there too at EA Play, and like no one was super into it.
that was CNC Rivals, as I recall, right?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I just
That
remember
sounds
like
familiar.
the community was really angry about that.
Yeah.
Well, earlier today, Mark, you and I were playing Earthbreakers with Evil Bob the Bob, which is a new game by Petroglyph, who made the CNC remasters. They're formed out of Westwood, rather, who made the initial Command & Conquer games. So it seems like if there was a Command & Conquer sequel under works before, that it probably would have been them doing it, or they would have been upset that they weren't the ones doing it. So that would be why it seems unlikely to me. But we also seem, at least Bob was saying, it seemed like they very much wanted the CNC license for Earthbreakers, which I can kind of that was the impression I got as well, and they weren't able to grab that. So,
And
yeah.
it could be because another studio has been granted it. Like they're going to give Petroglyph the olive branch to work on our master, but maybe they got Tiberian something in the works, and they're saving that for another studio. So I don't know. It'd go either way.
For
But do you
Axis, his
think,
next project is Civilization CNC.
Sure.
I'd be into that.
But do you think Empire at War 2 is totally off the table?
That's
I don't think it's
Corey?
off. So we know that Petroglyph has wanted to do it since 2006.
Yeah.
And we know they've been turned down repeatedly by not just EA, but also LucasArts. And I think we can confidently say it is not being made right now, but that Petroglyph very much wants to make it. And EA may come around on it depending on how the CNC remasters do. I do think it'd be more likely that we do get a new CNC before we get Empire at War 2, but I don't know that Petroglyph is a big enough company right now to do Empire at War 2, and I don't know how they'd handle the expansion to be able to do it. So I wouldn't see it anytime soon.
And I don't think Petroglyph would be the ones behind it, actually. I think EA would be one of their own internal studios.
maybe.
That's my read, but I'm no expert.
And I feel like if they're going to do something, it's got to be quick because they've only got 3 more years on this license. And unless they actually renew it, I don't know if that's going to be enough time. Okay, if they renew it, then yeah, it could definitely be on the table. But if not, then I'm not entirely sure. Yeah.
So, just as an update, guys, we are 20 minutes away from the start of EA Play. We are just looping the original Squadrons trailer that we saw. What did you guys think of the trailer, though? Because we talked about kind of whether we're excited for the game, but what did you think of the trailer itself, Mark?
Oh, like top notch.
Yeah.
If that was in engine, not gameplay, right? Is what they said.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this looks like the top tier cinematics from like 5 years ago. So to see that we're getting this like in an actual game is pretty astonishing. So yeah, the trailer pretty much sold me. Honestly, I would have been sold on if it had been like 2 stick figures flying through a sheet of paper or something. I would have been on board. But
yeah, the main thing that will be different in the gameplay is that it's all first person. It seems like the entire game is first person locked too, which is interesting because we kind of mentioned this. Corey and I talked about this, but thank you very much for the donation. They put so much effort into the cockpits in Battlefront 2, and like nobody ever played first person, even though it was so immersive. So the gameplay trailer might even be cooler because you can kind of get a look at what the X-Wing and the TIE Fighter cockpits look like, and they're all very different. Where we're at right now in the video for those watching on YouTube.
How do you feel being confined to first person? Like, is that a plus or negative for you?
It's a plus for me because I really liked first person mode in Starfighter Assault, but it was like you couldn't play it because you were at such a disadvantage. Yeah.
Yeah, you showed what I was going to mention. If the game looks anything like that last section of the trailer, then I'll be happy with first person. I like third person because of Ace Combat series, but if it looks as good as that in first person, I'll shut my mouth.
See, I'm kind of the same where I loved the feeling of first person shooters over third person shooters, and I always play Battlefront in first person, even though it makes me much worse than I already naturally am. So personally, it's a huge plus. I hope it doesn't turn people off the game. Yeah. But I think it could help appeal to other people who are used to maybe like Elite Dangerous or Star Citizen even. As deep as the Elite Dangerous player pool is.
I mean, this is always going to be like a super niche game anyway. Or not super niche, but compared to something like a Battlefront 2, fairly niche. And I think the price reflects that anyway. Do we know whether VR support is coming at launch or... Because I know it's planned, but I don't know if that's going to be there at launch, because that'll be really cool. There was like a VR experience for Battlefront 1 where it was just like kind of one mission where you're escorting the this U-wing. I can't remember what it was called, but that was really cool. And it seems like
that was great. That was like the first VR experience that really took me. Although at the time I hadn't played Beat Saber yet, so
yeah. And if you like watch that back too, there's like really not that much to it. Like you're kind of just like flying in escort formation for most of the experience. So
being able to look up and see those ships flying over top of you was like one of my favorite moments. So that was VR seller for me.
There was a good point made as well about like balancing for sticking with first person and VR, which I think was a good point as well. Just being stuck in the cockpit with VR is a good way of balancing it.
Speaking of balancing, I'm kind of interested to see whether they go with the Battlefront 2 approach, where like a TIE fighter and an X-Wing is essentially the same, except like the TIE fighter in Battlefront 2 has shields and missiles and everything, when in the movies and stuff or in the lore really it wouldn't. So I'm curious whether they go with that, where each ship on each side is the same, or whether like the Rebel ships will be different than Imperial ships.
I think there may be like a force, like this is a 5v5. I'm assuming. So I'm assuming that the ships will have different stats, but team comp might come into play between which faction you play. So I think they won't share the same stats, but it will also manipulate what team comps both Empire and so on needs to actually play in that 5v5. And to go. Oh, go on. Sorry.
No. I was just agreeing. You're right. I think.
And one thing that I think is going to make this game stand out of everything else is the fact that it is a 5v5. I think Battlefront 2, in a way, can be kind of difficult to watch because you're one in a large group, which makes it quite hard for you to make a huge impact. And reducing those numbers to a 5 team, I think, could make it a lot more interesting to watch on a person-by-person basis, and how they play and how they impact each game, and so on and so forth. So I think that'll be really interesting to see how Motive Studios take this.
It seems to me with that 5v5, they're trying to make this more competitive than Battlefront.
Yeah,
we're less of a sandbox and more of like a competitive.
Battlefront 2 is kind of a shit show. Like when you play Starfighter Assault, I love the mode, but it's like half the time you're spawning and you're just being killed right away. So hopefully like this game goes for tighter gameplay, and the limited numbers should help with that somewhat. So guys, we're still 14 minutes away.
Didn't the press release say something about the capital assault versus dogfight kind of mode? And my assumption would be that capital assault could easily include a lot of the AI that overcrowded Battlefront 2 space maps. That's something I'm a little concerned about. But dogfight, if it is just like straight 5v5, that's what's more interesting to me right now. Capital assault, depending on how the mechanics work out, could easily win me over, but that's that is the huge downside to Starfighter mode in Battlefront 2, but 5v5 is also more than the entire active player base of Battlefront 2 space mode at any given time. So we'll see how it works out.
If the 3 things come out, which is competitive ace combat in space, I'm sold. Like I'm gonna like non-stop play this game.
Yeah, one thing I'm kind of excited for is you can like really customize your ship quite significantly, like, and you can kind of see in this trailer, like one of the TIE bombers has like actually if you're watching right now, you kind of just saw it has like a laser cannon on the front, like a big beam weapon, and I kind of assume that like that's just something that you customize.
Was that a throwback to whatever they were using on the I don't know the names of any of these things, and Attack of the Clones, those gunship type things? They had those
like the lat thing, like the turret. I mean it looks very similar, so I wouldn't be surprised.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
But sorry, did they announce the customization of ships anywhere? Because
so you can customize the look of your pilot, you can customize the interior cockpit, you can change the outside of your ship, and then you can change the components. I'm sure they'll talk about that today, but I know like the ships have different components, so you can probably swap out the primary weapon. Like if you look, if you're watching on YouTube, I'm pausing it right at the relevant frame, but you can see they've got like a weapon system, and then what looks like maybe countermeasures or something, and then maybe something else. So I assume that that's stuff that you can change pretty freely.
Yeah, power distribution is something that seems like you have to manage a lot. So I think that'll probably factor a lot into the ship stats and maybe even differences between factions. Like I think they'll probably still give TIE interceptors and everything shields just for gameplay purposes, but that's also, if you want to make lore justifications for that, that's easy enough.
Yeah, that's easy enough.
But
I might be wrong, but I think if you go in the trailer in the TIE cockpit, there's only 2 little bars.
Yeah, I noticed that too. Yeah, I don't think the basic TIE will have shields, because the other ones have 3, right? And then yeah.
Oh, gone. Sorry,
go ahead.
go on. Gluten Slayer actually mentioned something about like talent trees
Mm-hmm.
that I think will be. I think they'll have that in the game. I think there will be some form of talent trees alongside different loadouts to really
Right. So
swing
like
in a meta for this game.
Right. So you can like skill up your offense or whatever, and then you get different torpedoes or bombs or whatever.
I think
that would be cool.
Definitely if they add that, I think that would be it'd be harder to balance, but I think would add such a third dimension to the gameplay for sure.
And Harold Maximus gave voice to what we're all thinking, saying, will there be the TIE Defender? So do you think they're going to add more ships over the course of the life of this, or?
I think it's hard to say, to be honest. I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't. Honestly, I don't think I'd be surprised either way right now. It's hard to tell like what they're expecting for the game. Like whether it is just something they wanted to get out to keep fans happy, or whether they do want it to be like a long kind of like a live experience. The fact that it's only $30 and doesn't seem to be microtransaction heavy kind of leads me to believe that this might be what we're getting.
Like a fire and forget kind of game.
Yeah, although I hope not, because I do generally like live service models, like as long as the game isn't screwed on release to make room for them. But
it's also something they could adapt to, where they could release it with the plan that it's just going to be this, but if there is enough response, it's also possible to add in more fighters or even do different eras, or have like Squadrons 2 that's a different era.
Wasn't Overwatch released on that price as well? And how long did that game go on for? Like, just as a comparison.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I've never played it, but yeah, Overwatch has been for ages. But like, you guys are right. I mean, if the game does do really well, and I said 30, I think it's a $40 base cost, not 30.
Or yeah.
But if the game does well, I mean, I'm sure nothing's off the table. Because we are about 9 minutes away from EA Play starting. Well, that's when the live stream starts. Usually YouTube throws in a little 2-minute buffer or whatever, but
and it won't be Squadrons immediately. There's going to be like, this is the whole EA Play thing, not just a Squadron specific event. So we'll keep an eye on everything.
Yep.
We'll
Sports game 2020.
Stuff, yeah, we're going to not talk about FIFA or whatever. FIFA 2020, 2021, and 2021.
I'm only talking about FIFA. This isn't our FIFA stream.
Why not?
I love FIFA. Not? You're a hater.
Yeah, speak for yourself, Corey. Jesus.
You see that ludicrous display last night?
The X-Wing just walked it in.
Thinking about Arsenal there. I just want to walk it in.
Oh dear.
Yikes.
So how long is EA Play?
We don't know. I'm gonna guess it'll be an hour though, but I don't think they've said.
Long enough that I'm gonna go to the bathroom, so I'll be right back, folks.
Okay.
So unprofessional.
Man's gotta pee. Or
hey,
poop.
man. I do. All right, bye.
You know, smallest tank out of all four of us, and he knows he needs to go before the stream. Never listens.
No, that's probably me. Remember when we were out in Dartmouth? I had to pee like 6 times.
I do remember that.
Yeah.
That's because
I drank a lot of beer too.
Drunk you.
Yeah.
But I hope I'm not overhyping this game, because in my mind, like when first introduced to this, I was like, oh, it's okay. It's gonna be like a minor competitive game, and now it's built up in my head where it could be like a really competitive thing, and I don't want to let myself down, you know.
No, yeah, I feel you. It's. I honestly wish it were a $70 game, which is obviously weird, but I mean, I wish it were a full price game, but let's see what we get with the gameplay. As long as the mechanics are solid, I'll be happy.
I think Fallen Order kind of showed that more focused gameplay can be received really well without having to be this broad thing that goes on forever.
No, agreed.
We'll see if we get we're definitely getting more Fallen Order games. I think with that one, they could have easily just done extra mission packs or whatever, or an extra planet pack. But
yeah, still really surprising.
It's kind of the same way.
I mean, I do think EA is kind of on like a mission to generate goodwill. And I honestly don't know if this game had came out like 5 years ago, whether it would have been priced at this point or not. Because like Fallen Order was like as consumer friendly as a game as you can get nowadays. It was priced. There was no extra DLC there's no microtransactions in the game. You couldn't spend extra money even if you wanted to. There was a free content update that was fairly significant. It wasn't always online or anything like that. And hopefully this game is consumer friendly as well. It seems to be. So it could just be like EA definitely had a serious consumer goodwill problem. So maybe they're just trying to.
It's also differences in how the game industry has been structured over the last 10 years versus previous periods where, like if you look at the games that were really big over the time since like 2010, it's a lot of the same games staying popular the entire time. And when you're doing that, if you're not releasing a game every other year, then there does have to be ways to keep the game going.
Yeah.
And so like GTA 5 has been played since whenever. Skyrim has been played since 2011.
Yeah.
League of Legends, Dota 2. You do get some more smaller focus games, but that hasn't really been the case since 2009, 2010. And there were a bunch of Star Wars games that were in production under LucasArts before the takeover, and they ended up all getting canceled long before EA took over. So it's not just an EA problem, though EA has always been one of the worst at doing almost everything on the business side there. But it has been a trend that's been shifting since then, now that things are a bit more stable.
Yeah, no, I mean, you're right, and it's hard to say. It's hard to say how this will play out, but on my end, it seems like fan feedback seems pretty positive. I mean, this video has less than 10% dislikes, which I think is very good for a EA Star Wars thing. It's got 5 million views. There's been a lot of videos just subjectively. The live streams have been doing well over here. My news videos have been doing well over on the main channel, which usually they don't. So that's just all kind of soft numbers, but feels like people are pretty on board with this, especially where the marketing campaign has been kind of it's like not been very formal, I guess.
We're at 5 or 4 minutes left to go, by the way.
Thank you, Datfire.
I could set the video to auto loop. How do I do that?
Yeah, right click loop. I was going to mention that, but
I was looking at another website that's doing predictions for this stream or whatever, and they're also saying that safe bets might be a Mass Effect trilogy remaster, which I would be.
Ooh, that would be interesting.
Not Andromeda 2. I would love Mass Effect 1 with better combat, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and also potentially the next Battlefield game, which I'm looking forward to.
I would be surprised if another Battlefield came out, I think.
Is that what DICE is doing right now?
Yes. They've announced Battlefield 6.
Okay, never mind.
Or not necessarily Battlefield 6. They've announced a new Battlefield. But
I would love Bad Company 3 would be my preference, I think.
Sims 5?
It might be time.
Oh my god, if they have Sims 5. Oh my god, I'll scream.
It might be time, honestly.
You want to talk about a game that needs some consumer goodwill? Sims. Pets don't need to be a DLC every time.
No.
Make pets a core feature.
Every time it's like they get you on pets, they get you on seasons, they get you on small business.
It's like I could buy a real puppy for cheaper than I could buy the fucking pets expansion.
It's true.
When Hot Date came out, I was ready to sell my soul.
That's a very Charlie expansion.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope that comes out. You know what I miss? Medal of Honor. Do you remember that game?
Yeah, the last one was kind of weird though. It was like very COD-like.
My dad.
Can we do some sort of bet system for the stream? I don't know how it would work. Is it too late to figure something out?
It might be.
No,
but
what do you want to bet?
I don't know. Like I put 20 Quatlus on a new CNC. I'm just gonna go out for it.
All right, I'll put 20 doubloons on Mass Effect Remaster because I do think that's going to happen.
I've got 6 Bitcoins on Star Wars Squadrons gameplay being shown.
Whoa, hey.
That's what, like, is that $100,000?
6 Bitcoins, yeah.
Isn't it like 8,000 right now?
Okay, I don't know.
I haven't paid attention since, because I think the highest it ever was like 25.
Yeah, I got no idea. Someone on my Facebook feed is always trying to sell us on them. It is a minute, so I'm gonna close that tab and open this one. Premiere will begin shortly. We've got 75 people watching. EA is probably pretty happy about that. I will say the EA events that I've been to, they like are always checking these numbers like every second. So
I
if
don't
you
blame
like an EA thing,
And-
like social metrics, get the social metrics up.
Are you on the games? Do they have their own channel
Yeah.
doing it?
It's just Electronic Arts. It's the one with 700. I put it in the Discord chat.
Okay, that's helpful.
This is why I
on their
like
website.
watching these live streams on a reaction one, because if you look at that chat, that is impossible to hold any form of conversation.
Just a lot of poggers. I'm gonna hide that.
Oh no, I can't send EA stickers. That's no good.
Well, I've got 20 ancient coins that I can give.
Oh, here we go, folks. Countdown starting.
Oh, is it? It hasn't started. Oh, there we go.
Oh,
So, Mark, you're clearly CNC is your top wish list item here,
Yeah.
right?
Actually, I think Empire War 2 might be my top wish, but CNC is my top reasonable wish.
Yeah.
Charlie, what do you got? What's your heart set on?
my heart is set on Sims 5 and a highly competitive Star Wars Squadron game, so I can make loads of videos on it.
I think this will be
why.
a good. I think this will be a good game for videos.
Yeah, like we've already got we got Neutral Squadron forming. Shaq wants to do some as well.
Mhm.
I think this is going to be a big one for all that.
Neutral Squadron.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I'm pretty sure I coined that name.
I did.
You
I
did?
love that.
You asked for squadron names. I said
What was
that.
mine? Oh, I
you
said
didn't have one.
I said Temp Squadron, here for a good time, not a long time.
I like
wanna
the
see-
flaming incels or something.
Flaming incels.
I don't see.
I do
Alex
want to
Molly
design an
bringing
emblem
you
for it.
that.
What was
Whatever
that?
we decide, I want to get a sweet emblem for it.
Get some shirts made. Hey, those are shirts we could sell as long as we didn't include any overt
Yeah.
Star Wars references.
Well, if they have like a ranking system for competitive, like bronze, silver, gold, etc.,
Mhm.
we could I don't know, call ourselves like Broccoli 6 or something like that.
My the X-wing tabletop game, our group is called Epsilon Squadron because they're the worst ships in the game.
Mark, you'll never go along with this, but we could call ourselves the X-wings, but ECKS.
I would kill myself before I let that happen.
All right,
All right, here we
she
go.
started.
Here it is.
It's kind of weird to think this isn't actually live because it's just a video they uploaded and premiered.
I prefer it. Watching live theater makes me nervous.
Should I have sound on? I'm gonna put
It's kind of
sound on.
cringeworthy. It can be anyway.
Hello and welcome everyone to EA Play 2020. We're happy that you're joining us today.
All right.
Over the next
EA's
45
presenting
minutes or so,
something.
We've got so much
Play
for you,
live.
including creative, innovative, and
We got
really
Andrew
fun
Wilson
new
here in a
games,
polo.
and a lot of news to share.
This is a very charismatic android.
But before we get into the show,
Android
I'd like
Wilson?
to
Not that
just-
Has he blinked
charismatic.
yet? Okay, there he goes.
I want to extend a heartfelt thank you to first responders, medical staff, and essential personnel. This has certainly been a challenging year.
I'm gonna turn the audio off.
From natural disasters like the bushfires in my home country to the devastating COVID-19 pandemic, these brave heroes are working to keep us safe and healthy at every
I like the
turn.
surfboard in the background.
I also want to thank our teams for their amazing dedication.
I
while
don't like
working
that
from
he
home.
sounds like an absolute
What you've
Chad.
been able to achieve
Don't like
is
it.
nothing short of inspirational.
I mean, it feels
also deeply thankful
bad
to
to
all
heckle
of
a
you,
guy
our
talking about
players.
serious stuff, but he does look like a
Even though we've had
robot.
to stay physically apart, billions of
That's
you
your
are
line.
using games to come together to play.
I've seen him in real
and
life.
do
He's
amazing
equally,
things for
if
each
not
other.
more, robotic.
You've shown why this is truly the
Right?
greatest
Eck is
form of
now kicked out of
entertainment
the.
on This is also a critical time
Origin
for the
Squad, I
movement
forget
and
what it's
racism
called.
and racial injustice in this world. Black lives matter,
EA's
and there
first
is much being done to
responders.
drive real
Turn up
and
the game
meaningful
volume
change.
or the video
A
volume
couple
for
of
you
weeks
guys.
ago,
Let me
we
know how
shared
that
some
sounds.
actions that Electronic Arts is taking. We will not rest on this. It's a long-term commitment. We're here for players
I'm
of every
turning
color,
on subtitles too.
background, religion,
Oh, good
and
idea.
personal preference. We will continue to build strong representation in our games, and we are focused on making our communities fun, inclusive, and positive places to play. We also have real work to do to bring greater diversity into our company, and we are committed to doing that work. Today, we're here because of the power of games. Games bring us together. They can make our lives better, they can teach us, they can provide escape and self-expression. And most of all,
Being an escape from this
games
goddamn intro.
can be fun. All of us at Electronic Arts
Just joking.
believe in that, and it's why we're excited to get up every morning
gonna surf
to
some
make
waves,
great
bro.
experiences
It's okay.
for all of you.
I'm gonna turn the volume down until this gets more
Thanks for
interesting.
being here with us. And now,
Games can be
let's get into
fun,
some games.
and we'd really like to make one of those for a change.
Would we have learned over the last 10 years that some people enjoy
What's up, everybody?
games?
I'm
We're sorry
Greg
for
Miller.
not making
Oh my
Welcome
God,
to
Greg
Play.
Miller.
We
Classic.
had an incredible
this
show
guy.
in
EO
LA
host.
planned for you. Huge stage, massive setup, these giant monitors. I was gonna fly in on an X-Wing. I was gonna land the X-Wing on stage. I was gonna set off a bunch of fireworks. Then what? T-shirt cannon, bam.
The last time I've seen him on anything was that Rooster Teeth game show
Tigers.
12 years
That
ago.
last part
Gotta
was
say,
all me.
Greg Miller's looking pretty
Then,
good nowadays.
Because of
Good for
circumstances
him.
beyond our control, we had to come up with
What,
something a
do
little
you used to be
different.
fat? Or
Instead
like
of
on
LA,
boat?
I'm in my hometown of San Francisco, but we still have the Tigers. One second.
Yes.
Kind of my nice way of saying it, but yes.
All right, I'm being told there are no Tigers, but whatever. We're still gonna bring you the EA play you know and love. Huge surprises,
I don't like
big
this haircut.
announcements, incredible reveals,
Could be worse.
and never before seen
That is
gameplay.
my haircut.
Coming up over the next hour,
Before
we've
I
got
shaved it
game
all.
reveals galore.
So an hour, he
world
said.
premiere trailers of new
Damn,
titles.
Funny
some
was
old
actually
favorites making a
one of my
comeback.
big inspirations
Hey, look,
for
and
starting a
new
YouTube
way
channel.
Star Wars fans can live out their greatest fantasies this year, plus a sneak peek at the future.
Greatest fantasies, you say?
And pay close attention because today
Did you hear that, though?
Some old favorites making a comeback?
But did you hear that though? He said, live out our favorites this year and a sneak peek at the future. So there might be another Star Wars game.
That'd be cool. I like Star Wars games.
Write them down as
We should
they
cover
appear,
those.
and at the end of the show, we'll tell you where you can enter that secret code for a chance to win
Discreetly
free
place
games on
gold
Steam.
lettered. Oh,
So
there's
don't
one.
go anywhere.
There's one on his cup,
Who am I
guys.
kidding? None of us can leave our houses.
Hold on,
enough
give me
my
talking.
UA.
Let's see some games. Up first, we're headed to the
There was
Outlands.
nothing in that cup,
That's
you
right.
goddamn liar.
It's Apex Legends time.
Oh, come on.
He's not allowed to actually drink on stream, Charlie. That would be illegal.
Anyone want to take me out?
Now I want a cup of tea.
You can go make one if you want. We should have a few minutes.
Apex Legends time.
Apex is pretty fun.
It is.
It's so weird that it takes place in the
Hey,
Titanfall
Apex
universe,
fans,
you know?
the battle just keeps
Yeah.
getting bigger. Thanks to you, Apex Legends.
The
is
issue
coming
is
off its
that
most
I'm so
successful,
bad at the game
most
and
epic
they
season
refuse
yet,
to put
and
any
we're just
form
getting
of like
started.
ranking system
Season
in
4
there,
saw
like
more of you jumping into
MMR.
the
So I
fight
get my
than ever
ass.
before.
handed
Really?
to
I
me.
thought there was one
That
now.
amazing momentum going forward,
In
making
ranked
season
only, in
5
normal
the
okay.
games.
I was gonna say, because I
best
played
start
it and I
to a
got
season
like
ever.
10 kills, and then my buddy was like, yeah, you were playing against noobs.
I just find it funny that like
hope you've been enjoying
Titanfall is
season
this kind of
5, Fortune's
grounded
Favor,
sci-fi military shooter,
which has
and
seen
then
the
in like the
introduction of
same
our
universe you
latest
have these
legend, MOBA.
weirdos like in this competitive
A major map change
arena
to Kings
thing.
Canyon. Rest in peace, Skulltown.
So chat, just
An
as
all-new
a,
ranked
or those
series
listening at
and a
home,
ton
just
of
as
quality
a
of life updates.
reminder,
But
we
it's
are
about to
watching
get even
EA
better.
Play live.
Today, I'm here to
We
tell you
can't
about what's
control when
coming
Star
next
Wars
to
gets
Season
here,
5
or
with
how
our
much
latest
Star
collection
Wars
event,
gets here.
Lost Treasures. Take a look.
But it'll come.
I like that woman.
Some great commentary. This is why I think people are tuning in.
I'm so primitive today. I don't know why.
Explorers.
Oh, is this a new champ?
Everything in such
Oh, yeah.
fame, fortune,
I think there's a few
and
more.
answers.
Or skins, I don't know.
Few find what they're looking for.
See, I've never played Apex. I've thought about it a lot, but
But if they survive,
never
okay.
did it.
I mean,
They
it's
might
free.
walk
I
away
mean,
with
if you
lost
really thought about it. Wow, that mustache looks terrible.
There's a lot of stuff I think about that is free and easy to do, but I just never do it.
Okay, the skins are a lot better since I played.
My sinuses are firing again. Check yourself or wreck yourself. Hey, thanks. I owe you one.
I recognize that mechanic from Overwatch,
I know what
which
I'm
I
looking
also
for.
haven't played.
I won't walk away without it.
I don't understand what the point of making these big, like, story trailers for, like, a multiplayer game. Like,
Come on, I did.
And I still maintain it does not fit the universe at all.
Is this why
Or
you
maybe
went-
Titanfall doesn't fit the universe now, I guess.
Yeah, do a Templin Institute video on it.
I mean, I wanted to until this. Because now it's just going to be like, and then also he was a
As you
mummy
just
from
saw, the
space
Lost
and could
Treasures
shoot magic
collection event
lasers.
brings with it a ton of
I'm
great
Yeah.
gonna do the
features.
stream to
What's new,
refresh just in case
limited
we
time
fell behind.
No, I'm checking. You were ahead of me, but now.
As you just saw, the Lost Treasures collection
Damn, now I'm
event brings
behind.
with it a ton of great content, including
No,
a
no,
new
just like
limited
literally
time
full
mode, Armed and
second. Like,
Dangerous
no,
Evolve.
you're exactly the same event.
Okay.
It's the return of a fan favorite, snipers and shotties only, but with a twist.
Sending out my decoy.
All armor is Evo armor, and we're removing all of the
This guy does
respawn
not
beacons
sound
across
pumped to
the
be talking
entire
about his game.
No, it's like
Don't worry,
With a
though, you'll
twist.
still be able to
All
bring back
armor
these
is
same
evil
moves with the
armor.
help of a new item,
Game developers
the
aren't
mobile
exactly
respawn
trained to
beacon.
be entertaining
Yeah, I know.
personalities.
You'll have one of
Like,
these
I
I love
every
that
hour at the start
at
of each
Paradox
match,
Con,
giving
where you
you
just
the
have
power
these
to
software
choose
developers
when
forced on
and, more
stage to deliver
importantly,
these very
where
charismatic
you bring your
speeches they're not
teammates
prepared
back into the
for.
battle.
There's gotta be like one dude like
Lost Treasures also
on the team who had like a
introduces the new
YouTube
town
channel or
Crypto's
like
map room.
has talked to
It
somebody
just works.
before who
Players
they
a
could put on
closer look
stage.
At what motivates this drone
I just love, like, you know, the rock music and the lasers and the fog effects, and
of
then just
course,
some guy
the Lost
walks up and
Treasures
he's like,
section delivers a
"Hello,
bunch of exclusive
today I would
content
like to talk
can
to
earn
you
by completing
about."
challenges, as well as all new event exclusive cosmetic items.
Of you,
and
boy,
the introduction
Mirage's
of
heirloom.
Your Boy Mirage's heirloom, which is
that,
fittingly a
that
trophy
picture of me
himself.
smiling in the Discord. It looks exactly like one of these characters in
And
this
the best
goddamn
part is
game.
you don't have to wait that long. Lost Treasures drops
know-
on
you know
Thursday,
the-
June
it's out.
23rd. And that's not all, Apex fans. The battle is expanding.
The New Zealand
That's right.
Zealand
this
one.
fall we're bringing Apex Legends to Steam. And I know you're hoping, wondering,
Crossplay
praying,
is coming,
so before
Dave.
you ask,
EA's totally
yeah,
given up on the
Crossplay is coming to
their
Apex this
launcher,
fall.
eh?
it's been one of the
Origin?
biggest requests.
Yeah,
for
well,
Origin,
they, I mean,
and we're
they're
thrilled
not
to
giving up
finally
on it,
deliver to
but
our
there's like no
fans.
Origin exclusives anymore.
What am I forgetting?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, one last
thank
thing.
God.
Let's make it official.
Death to Origin exclusives.
We're
It's
huge
coming out on
fans of
Switch.
Nintendo
Nice.
here at Respawn.
I will actually
Dude, the
made it
Switch
so
is gonna
easy to
check out their
struggle
store
with
so
that
they can
game.
actually play the
Legends to
games.
Switch this fall, and we'll share more details in the months ahead.
God, I'm so glad
So
Switch
that
is
means
getting
you'll
the
be able to
attention it
squad up
deserves
no
now.
matter where you and your
Switch is
friends
gonna
prefer to
struggle with
play,
this game, man.
Xbox, PlayStation,
Yeah,
Switch,
probably.
or on the PC via
I thought
Origin and
Fortnite was
Steam.
a stretch,
We're
but
throwing
this
out a
might.
lifeline and healing the
And
divide.
they got
between
Overwatch running on it.
On behalf of the
Did
entire
they?
Apex team,
Can
we
you
wanna
disable
thank our
crossplay if you don't want to be in a
incredible
crossplay server?
Your passion for the game
Usually,
is truly
yeah.
inspiring.
Oh.
We look forward
Never.
to seeing you all in the arena. And don't forget, check out Lost
If I was
But
a
you can on
PlayStation 4
Fortnite,
guy,
I
I wouldn't
think.
want to play against PC people.
It depends on how big the player base is usually. 'Cause splitting that is usually a bad idea.
It's true. I've had a really good time here.
I do like that clone guy.
All right.
Charlie?
Yo.
Sure, this is it.
Everyone.
Oh, there we
One
go.
thing I admire about Apex Legends is its commitment to having such a diverse range of characters. At The Sims, we've always believed representation and diversity.
Always
in games
believe
is
murdering
critically
people in the
important.
basement with the stove
Perhaps
you've
now
left
more than
on.
ever.
Sit Lindsay
It's
Pearson, give me
difficult
what I
to put
want,
into
darling.
words just how meaningful it can be to see yourself reflected in the games you play. So
Now we
here
have
to tell you in
fatter
their own
Sims.
words are a few members of our Sims community.
There's nothing more empowering than having an art goblin locked in your basement producing
very
portraits to
interesting thing to
fund my hedonistic lifestyle.
It feels
Exactly. Every time I make my family in the Sims, I lock my dad in the basement so he can't run away like the real one did.
That joke gets
Probably, like,
funnier
the only
every
place
single
where
time you say it, Charlie. It's great.
Open.
Yeah.
They get to
There's
see my personality first
1,200 people
before
watching.
seeing my
Someone
Charlie,
haven't
I
heard
think
the
we can
joke
replace you
before.
with just a computer that
I found
spouts
myself
out
to be
like
the
your
only
catchphrases.
black child in my school. I was discriminated. I was bullied. My skin tone.
Honestly,
my
The Sims
height,
is pretty cool,
and
though. I
my
don't know why we're.
Teeth.
First realized that I was trans.
I just don't want to
when,
pay for pets again.
I
Just
had
give me the
this-
pets
I
off the
was,
bat,
like,
and then we're
praying
good.
to God to undo it. I have this world where I can express myself and be myself.
Today we are proud to
Where I come
announce that
from,
we're
where I am,
adding
the color of my
non-white Sims to The
skin,
Sims.
You know, who I'm attracted to, let any of that
In
get in the
1996.
way. There
Yeah.
was no barriers.
I hope one thing that annoys me with Sims 4 is the lack of like hairstyles and everything. So I hope they're actually going to
It's
go
almost like I was
fully
into
into
the
this
future, and
now.
I didn't know it at the
So,
time, but it gave me
I can't
hope.
remember which one it
It
was, but
gave
one of
me
the
a sense
Sims
of hope
3 or 4
that
had really
I could build a
customizable
life that looked
characters,
like that.
and then the other one is
The
like
Sims is
2
almost like a
hairstyles in one
utopia of
shirt.
what I
Yeah.
hope
Oh, look,
our
they're turning
world
into Sims.
Eventually becomes.
It's
Whoa.
horrifying.
I got more comfortable with my character in the game.
Okay, so that
I got
means they're more
comfortable with
customizable.
myself.
That'd be good.
I
How
played
far
a
ahead?
bit
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
you're far ahead. I just saw one turn.
Express myself.
I'd scream if that happened to me. If I looked in the mirror and
I play to feel good about myself.
I play to
Just stay away from pools after that point, because you may run out of energy and just stand still in the middle of one.
And start working out because you'll be like completely jacked in like 3 days.
You can see the progress bar over your head, which is the most useful thing.
Yeah.
and you start saying things like Sulu and you can't change it anymore.
More customizable Sims. That's pretty cool.
Wait, is that it?
I think so.
I can't tell
As
what
you
that
just
is.
saw, there are so many reasons why I am proud to be part of the Sims global community.
Let me give this a
We want
refresh,
the
see if I
Sims
can
to be a
get back
place of
on track.
unity and hope.
None
Be
of you
your
are
authentic
without
self
Sim.
and build your vision for our shared world. A place to imagine what's
But
possible.
he who is without Sims,
To our
download
Simmers,
the first
thank you for
DLC.
everything you've done to make your community's virtual
Here it is,
and
Charlie. Here it
real
is,
a better
Charlie.
place.
Oh, god damn it! They're
Now,
just
I
bringing
know
the
some of you
Switch.
tuned in
No
hoping
news.
for some Sims
An
news,
announcement.
and we'll have plenty to share as the summer
don't
goes
say it,
on,
don't say it,
but
'cause I'm
we
a
do
little
have one
behind.
announcement for you.
You guys are like
We'll be
30 seconds ahead of
welcoming
us.
you on a whole new
Platform? Okay.
platform as The Sims 4 arrives on Steam today.
Wow, The Sims is now on
Take a look.
PC. That rules.
You couldn't even like jokingly put a P in between the M and an S.
Damn it, Charlie.
Sims?
I spelt it right? That joke
No.
pulled through. Did it not?
The M and the S. That's what you meant to say.
Man, these Sims have a richer life than I do. I look at this and I just feel sad.
I used to feel like that, like when I played a lot, I'd be like, man, my Sims life is improving, and I've been sitting here for like.
There's the dogs. Oh.
Yeah, they're really giving up on Origin exclusives.
Yeah.
I don't want the Harry Potter thing. Okay. I want Sims 5.
Oh, they got Baby Yoda. Okay, that's great.
You guys are so
Right,
far
we did
ahead.
it.
I'm so.
Yeah,
I gotta stop talking, I guess.
Yeah,
If you guys refresh it, you might bring because. There's Baby Yoda.
Alright, I'm gonna refresh.
Those apartments look pretty cool.
Yeah, this actually looks pretty sick. Actually, why would they need to make Sims 5? I'll change mine.
Hey everyone, Alex here from the social team, and joining me today from our community team is Freeman.
Hey folks, yes, we're here to tell you that it's not just The Sims 4 arriving on Steam today. 5 more great EA games.
You can get
including
abused by
Titanfall
Battlefront 2 or
A Way
Battlefront
Out,
5
and
players
Dead
on a
Space
different
3,
platform
all
now.
playable right this second.
And when
You can
EA
open a
Access
different
arrives on
EXE
Steam
before
this
opening the
fall,
same
you
EXE
can get
now.
all
Yeah.
those great titles and a ton more with your membership.
You can also expect to
It's
see
not a
our new
platform.
releases on
Oh!
Steam too. One of the first
Here we
arrived
go. Oh,
just
wait,
a
I guess I'm
short
still ahead of
while
you.
ago
Something cool is
with full
happening in,
mod
like, 2
support via
seconds.
Steamworks.
The critics love it, and we know you will too. This
Command
is
and Conquer Remastered. They just released this.
Yeah, are they
It's
Are
on
they building
Steam
to
now, I
something?
guess.
No, they're not building to something.
God damn it.
Plus expansion packs.
Yeah.
4K.
Were the expansion packs part of it already, or is that new?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's nothing new here. I'm just saying that this
Boo.
game exists.
Ooh.
That's annoying.
Look at Frank giving her on the guitar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can have him in the bottom left of the corner while you play.
Welcome back, Commander.
His rates are very reasonable.
So if that's where they put the
And
CNC
Steam
stuff, I
isn't
think
the only
that
platform
destroys
getting
my
some love.
hopes of
What
getting
are
a
we
new
bringing
announcement.
Games to more platforms
More.
than ever?
Just,
You can expect 7 new games
Oh,
coming to
they-
Switch
More
in
coming
the
to
next
Switch,
12
that's good.
months, including Burnout Paradise coming
Ooh,
tomorrow,
Burnout Paradise.
and
I'm probably gonna buy
Apex
that.
Legends later this year. And we're bringing crossplay to many of your favorite games too, starting with Need for Speed Heat and continuing with some new titles being revealed later in the show.
It's all about giving you the freedom to play what you want, where you want, and with who you want.
all right, we
It's
missed
about
our chance
playing
for
together.
CNC marks.
Absolutely.
yeah.
Now, let's reveal some more games. Over to you,
Reveal
Greg.
some more games.
Quick reminder to keep an eye out for those
More
special
implies they
golden
revealed
letters
one
before
Yeah.
throughout the show.
Have they showed
can
any
appear
games yet?
anywhere,
No.
and I mean
The first 2 letters are
anywhere.
EA. Do you think we should just type in
Keep
EA
your
Play
eyes
Live and hope we
Write
get
the
ahead of
letters
it?
down as they appear, and once you've got the full code,
Sorry,
you'll be able to enter
I
for a
accidentally
chance
turned
to
off
win one of
closed
more than a
captions,
dozen
and he
great
just
games on
pointed
Steam.
at an A,
So
and I
stay
don't know
tuned
why.
and find out where to enter the
'Cause
code
it was
at the end of the
golden.
show. Now, if you follow
Re-
my content at all, then
Maybe.
you
I
know
wasn't paying
there's
attention.
nothing I love more than buffalo wings and discovering inventive new games. Well, I don't have any buffalo
I want
wings,
buffalo
but I do
wings.
have something just as tasty.
Is Greg
wings last
Miller
night.
plugging his own
Couple of years,
content right
EA has
now?
partnered with the amazing studios like
We're gonna get back from the next
to give us
break. He's
such
gonna be
creative
gone.
titles as a way
Okay,
out
guys,
of
I need to get my social
Here to
blade up
explain
to
how they
a
do
B
it are a
plus
few of the
before we end the show.
talented developers working on the next
B
wave
plus, and I'll show you
of
guys the
EA
next game.
originals.
I don't understand Kind of Funny because I've already overtaken them pretty handily in both subscribers and views.
Sometimes you just have this
Who?
great
Right.
idea of a game.
Kind of Funny, the
But you
channel
really have to
that
do it on your
Greg made.
Oh.
We wanted space for our studio's creativity to flow free.
Why is their music louder than their voices?
Yeah, it's like way louder.
Where you've got to like break past your own sort of mental blocks.
Star Wars hopefully coming soon. Coming soon, people. We don't know exactly when.
We get to do the game we want to do. Nothing.
Isn't this Star Wars Squadrons?
Comes into the game if it doesn't follow the vision.
Wow, I like how that X-wing just kicked a monster in the face.
Really push our ideas further and
That X-wing has a beard shadow, or a beard maybe.
Wow, X-wing breathes fire.
Oh, here we go. What is this?
Unravel would be good. Angry Spider.
Man jumping.
Oh, there's a P. It totally is EA Play. This is bullshit.
Dude, you're spoiling it. I didn't know what the next letter was.
Sorry.
And now
Sorry, everybody.
It's gonna fucking spell Apex, isn't it?
Whoever put those up is going to be just covered in glitter.
Up first is Haze Light and their mild-mannered, quiet leader, Joseph Ferris.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Please welcome Joseph Ferris.
I don't quite understand the concept of EA Originals, where it's like, yeah, EA is making games.
Oh, I know of this
Original games, I guess.
Is that their like indie publisher thing where they give people money to make stuff?
Yeah.
Is it?
I think that's what it is, not just EA making games.
But then that's not an EA Original, that's an EA funded thing.
It's an EA funded original, so it's an EA original. It's originally
I was born in
published
Beirut,
money by EA.
1977. I lived there 10 years. There was civil war and there was a lot of bad stuff happening there. We tried to move 5 times to Sweden. The 5th time they let us
I like
in,
this game.
And that's lucky to Sweden because I've given Sweden a lot, you know. My third movie, Zozo, is basically about my life when I came to Sweden when I was young. I've done 5 feature movies and now I've done 3 games. And it's way hard to make a game. It's almost like the audience have control of the pacing of the story, while in movies it's being paced for you.
I bet $10 that those golden letters spell out EA Play.
From a storytelling perspective because of the
No, there was a P.
Yeah. EA Play. P-L-A-Y.
I think Charlie missed the E.
No, I thought the E was because of the Markiplier meme.
That's why I founded Haze Light.
What?
To keep pushing the boundaries of what is
You thought
possible in
when he
games.
said look out for golden letters and he raised his mug and there was a giant E on it in gold.
Charlie's like, haha, Markiplier meme.
The new game, It Takes Two, is a
because yeah, just
platformer.
I'm sorry.
My fucking mind blown away.
The story starts out with a small family. Cody, May, that's the parents, and then
In Star Wars Squadrons, you'll be able to play with whatever type of doll you want.
This is why I feel like EA Play struggles to work, because like there's just so many genres being thrown at you that there's always gonna be like a downtime in these streams.
I just don't think like, I don't know.
There's even levels.
Well, the idea, I think, when you're making these conferences is that you want to give something for everybody. So not everyone has to like everything, but as long as you come away with this with one thing that you thought was cool, then you're good.
But they should start off with something.
What I want all the time.
Like I get diverse games, but they should start off with something exciting because we're like 20 minutes in.
It has an ending, but that
and like,
what did they start off with? It was Apex?
It was another patch for Apex, I think, coming this week.
Yeah, guys, we've fixed the mouse acceleration issue.
That's the best way to start It Takes Two, actually.
Nintendo, there's an L. There's your L. It's totally EA Play. That's so fucking lame.
Wow, that was the best way to describe it. All right, Joseph, we love you so much. Thank you. Keep it up over there for the Oscars. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, let's keep this originals train rolling, and let's stay in Sweden.
Everyone's spamming L.
Red gummy fish and their video games. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Klaus and
Big
Olaf
L.
from Zoink Games.
The closed captioning is really not doing super great.
No.
No.
Thanks, Greg. Welcome to Gothenburg.
That's sewing.
and,
We've
well,
always been driven.
my home. Unfortunately, I didn't bring you any Swedish fish, but we do have some exciting news for you about our latest game.
Charlie, is that you on the left side of his desk?
I was gonna make that joke about you, Mark, but it came off screen, so I
worlds that people can
I
escape
was
to.
fucking gonna say the same
The
joke.
weirder, the better. And
Sure you were, buddy.
my friend
Twins Megamind?
Yeah, absolutely. And for our next game, though, we wanted to try something a little darker. Something
I still don't get how that happened.
What started with a mood and some
Hey, that dude had the hairstyle from the guy from Avatar,
that feels like something out of
Sokka.
a beautiful twist.
Really?
And that's the world of random.
Stop trying to make it seem like you watch Avatar.
I've watched like 12 episodes now, bud.
And an even bigger temper.
There's a lot of sad faces.
After a horrible event that changes her life, she embarks on a dangerous
Play the child abuse game.
But fortunately, she's not alone. Just like I have Olaf, he even also has a crazy little weird friend thing with her.
I don't know, I find like these indie games, like I feel like EA has had success with them before when they just show them. Because
things in the kingdom of random.
Because they had a lot of indie games at last EA Play.
Despite the name, the Evens world,
they just showed them.
Feared.
Yeah, they're doing a lot of focus on the developers,
which is from where you live to how you act or what your favorite color is.
Which I kind of like. It's always cool seeing the art and how these games are made.
So. Mysterious world, but it's
also just trying to figure out if these are the same guy with different haircuts.
I think we can all relate to the desire to try and control the chaos around us. With Dicey's help, though, Even learns the power in doing just the opposite.
Ooh, that's cool looking frog.
Accept
yeah, it's got a little bit of a Legend of Zelda vibe.
It's actually going to be EAPLA, and then instead of the Y, it spells out, haha, got you.
What would you do? Play it safe or trust in yourself and take a chance?
EA Plap.
We can't wait for you to play and find out.
We're still a long ways from launch, but we hope you will join Even and Dicey
on
on
the
the journey next year. Until then, please enjoy this first look at Lost in the
This is
World.
cool art style. Okay, yeah, that was good job ending on cringe.
Okay, I had actual gameplay now, or the video or something.
The world of
this looks like Halloween Town. I'm in.
Bends with the roll of one dice.
Oh, what? That actually looks sick.
A dice.
Yeah, it does look kind of sick.
Kingdom.
I'd play it. It's like Halloween Town.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't I just say that?
No.
I should Corey say it.
Like you.
No.
Is that muted?
But what if I told you?
They should have just jumped straight into that.
Another dice.
This is Halloween, everybody.
Everything. Now, my friend, it's your turn to roll. To play the odds.
Oh, that's creepy. Don't like that.
Curse random.
Yeah, this is getting to like copyright infringement levels of Halloween.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that giant wolf or whatever. Wasn't there one like that?
No, Dicey.
No,
Dicey.
You're scared of us, right?
I know, it's like now. Oh man, I actually quite like that.
Yeah, I'm
Lost
just
in
worried
random.
about Tim Burton's reaction.
Yeah.
Really cool. That's what
Oh my God, there's an A. There's an A.
Man, embrace
Guys, I
those
think it's EA Play.
randomness. I feel like I live that every day in my life.
Wait,
I was gonna do that.
counts.
You didn't know that. Dicey's my spirit
I think that's where
animal.
the
game's
P
out
was.
next year. But
EA
for something that's blasting off a whole lot sooner. Take it away, Kevin Frank.
You're right.
EA Platter.
So I've just learned how to spell this now.
Just
At Final Strike
Charlie,
Games,
don't-
our team of
don't write
experienced
checks you
industry
can't
veterans
cash.
have worked
Yeah.
on incredible multiplayer franchises. We are passionately focused on making great multiplayer games.
Rocket Arena.
That's why I am incredibly excited to announce
was
that we have
named by a
partnered with
random
the
number
talented team at
generator.
EA to release
He
our
looks like
first
he looks
ever
like
title. Rocket
Logan
Arena.
Paul's cousin.
As you'll see, we stay loyal to the name of the game. It's a rockets only.
The captions
players
keep
to
saying
get into the
Rocket
action quickly
Iranian.
and stay in the fight.
The rock,
We want Rocket Arena to
the
be an
marketing strategy
awesome,
here is just
competitive
hoping that people
experience to play
accidentally
with
find their
friends.
game searching for
I
Rocket
think you're
League.
gonna love what we've got in store for you. Here's the all-new trailer.
This is like
of Rocket
Netflix's
Arena.
Money Heist.
Enjoy.
All right, trailer time.
Rockets away.
Let's kick this into gear. The trophy.
I'd say they're actually hoping for people looking for Overwatch League, but
Yeah.
no one's looking for Overwatch League.
See,
Why not
I'd
both?
like they all look like children. I don't like it.
Have you ever wondered why life is so good on Crater?
Sea of Thieves.
Sea of Thieves, yeah.
It does, yeah. It reminds me of Sea of Thieves.
Let's go to the tavern, guys.
One cannonball. Yeah, time to skull. Time to skull.
There's
You
a
see the
cat
Sea of
just
Thieves
bobbing on
update?
you.
Looks pretty cool. You can like choose
I
your
wanna
songs.
ask about that, but ooh, that's good.
They're adding a bunch of new ones as well. And there's like ghost ships now.
Wait, what? Oh, don't tell me. I need to watch the trailer.
It's like
No, I'm
2 weeks
serious.
ago, I think.
Wait, really?
Or a week ago, yeah.
Shit, I might have missed it.
I'm
you
so tired
definitely
of
did
these
if you haven't
character
seen it.
shooters.
This looks potentially interesting, but I do think the rockets only will get old.
It could be fun, yeah.
It's just I don't like.
It's like a very crowded niche.
I hunger for battle.
It could be fun.
Yeah, I was literally gonna say Nidalee, but as a child, like, don't like it. Okay, she's cool, but. Okay, so she. Okay, yeah, I kind of like this guy, actually.
About wrongful death, turn your back on the water. Just trying to close caption the music.
Oh yeah.
I want to be the guy who writes like the quotes for the characters. So it's like, okay,
I'm
this
here to
person's
rock
fast. We'll
it.
have her say she has speed to spare.
See a Thieves character.
I wish there were more pirate games.
This is
What about,
probably
So as you
the
just
style
saw,
to do.
rockets
So.
are obviously
Blood
awesome to
and
blast all over
what
the
the hell's
place.
that one? Skull and Bones?
But in order to come out on
Yeah,
top, there's a lot to
that game's
master.
just missing some stuff. Like you can't board other ships and stuff.
You'll have a
Oh,
range
really?
of rocket-powered
Yeah.
abilities to blast opponents out of the arena, and an arsenal of evasive moves.
What did you just call me?
Rocket jump, rocket climb,
Arsenal.
and dodge to avoid getting knocked out yourself. Don't worry though, you're never
You know
out
what
of the
reminds
action
me
for
of?
long.
Fusion
Even when you're
Frenzy.
out, you'll
You guys ever
fly
play
right
that
back
game?
into the fray.
Never heard of it.
You'll also be able to really customize
Wait,
your
You get
own
knocked
unique
off and you
look
just fly back
playstyle.
in.
Yeah,
Each of the 10 arrows available at launch
out of the
have their
entire
own
3D sky
rocket-powered
map, and you
abilities.
can still play.
And as you play, you'll discover items that allow you to further refine each of your heroes' playstyles.
Okay.
Plus,
It's
every
2
character
pirate
has
characters.
100 levels of progression that unlock new
You can have
cosmetics
more than
and
one
rewards.
pirate.
All that
Oh,
and
one
much
more.
more when Rocket
If
Arena
your character has
arrives
100
on
levels of
July
customization,
14th.
then you can make them gold for some reason if
And
you
there's
want
plenty
to.
more content to come in our first season, which begins just 2 weeks after launch on July 28th.
See, I would
and
like
brings
if
with it
Squadrons had a
blast
season,
pass and
like
a ton of free
multiple
content,
seasons, but
including new maps,
kind of doubt it at this
in-game
point.
events, and a new playable character.
Hmm.
Rocket Arena is a game meant to be played with friends, regardless of platform. That's why we're thrilled to announce cross-play
I'm gonna grab you,
support
Eck,
right
regardless
from
of
the
your
start.
platform.
Please no.
So grab your friends, regardless
Wait,
of
did
their
they-
platform,
did
and
they
get
just
ready
make
to blast
a-
off with Rocket Arena on
Fortnite
July
100
14th
Blast
on
Pass?
PlayStation, Xbox, Origin, and Steam.
Now
And
everything's a
we'll
meme,
be sharing
Charlie.
more gameplay right after the show.
I would
with
say, in
some
fact,
great
most things
content
are
creators.
not.
So check us out on YouTube.
They've used the letter M repeatedly in this,
See you in
and
the
none of
arena.
them were about Markiplier.
Wow, that looks great.
Wow, that was
And
really close to Greg
hopefully
Miller
you've
this
all
time.
been keeping track of the gold
Oh, there's the
medals
Y.
hidden throughout
Oh, there's
the
a
show
Y,
and
guys.
Nearly cracked the code. Here's a hint. It's not Kanye.
Wait, where did you
Keep
see
an
the...
eye out for the last couple of
That one was
letters,
actually
and then
kind
at the
of,
end the show,
hidden.
We'll reveal where you need to go to enter the code.
It's
and a
glinting.
chance
Okay,
to
now
win
it's
some
there,
great
but-
games on Steam.
Even Dora the
Now, from
Explorer's
future
audience
of
is looking at this
Rocket
thinking, come
Warfare, we head
on.
to a different kind
Oh,
of
here we go,
battle.
Star Wars
The
Squadrons,
real
come
reason
on.
I didn't get any sleep last night,
Finally.
and if you thought you heard sleigh bells, that's because it might as well be Christmas in June. It's finally time to talk Star Wars Squadrons.
Hooray.
Okay, I promise you, we are going to get a first look at some brand new gameplay in just a
Oh.
moment. But first, for anyone who doesn't fully grasp why I'm so excited, earlier this week, EA
Okay.
and Lucasfilm dropped a trailer that literally
we're gonna watch
gave
the
me all
trailer.
feels, chills,
We've already
joy,
watched it 30
excitement, and
times.
more chills on top
Thanks,
of that.
Greg.
Take a look.
All right, we're starting halfway through.
Yeah.
That's good.
Right, now this is going to be copyright strike.
I'm muting this one.
I did like how in the trailer the rebel pilots are like, "We fight for freedom and liberty and honor," whereas the Imperial guys are like, "Gentlemen, to evil."
Let's kill some children.
Makes history.
5 pilots.
One.
So yeah, where do I claim my $500,000 prize for guessing EA Play?
It's not
I
over
guess
yet. There's
first.
more letters.
EA Play Live,
Maybe.
EA Play Squadrons, EA Play Games.
The music for this was sweet though.
Yeah, it was. Coming to the cloud. That's pretty cool.
That's disgusting.
He's going to say more gameplay right after FIFA.
First, we want to document.
Wow. The 8-year-old and all of us is celebrating and excited. The
8-year-old.
37-year-old man on this couch is
37?
excited. Ladies and gentlemen, for the
How is
second
that the
year in a
best-
row, I have the
the
honor
best
Oh my God,
take
it's
of
Ian
it?
Fraser.
helping introduce a new Star Wars title. And here, to put the hype in hyperdrive, is none other than Motive's creative director, Ian Fraser. Hello,
Mark,
Ian.
you are significant.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Yeah.
Really?
I'm
You
great.
need to give
How
it a
are you?
refresh or
Doing
something.
good. Happy to actually get to
Okay.
show this to people.
But I like being ahead. I'm not gonna
That's fine.
give up this
In my
advantage.
copious notes I have on
This
you,
way I
I
can,
told
like,
you
formulate
are
my
quite
jokes and
the
then deliver
Star
them with
Wars
perfect
fan,
timing.
have been a long time. How long have you liked Star Wars?
I've been a Star Wars fan for pretty much my whole
Cool.
life. I
Someone's
don't
like
even
Star
remember the
Wars
first
for their
time I saw
whole
the
life?
movies.
How'd they
And
get
as a
this
kid,
guy?
There was a lot of different parts of Star Wars I loved. One of them was
He was
being a
named after a
pilot, that idea
sitcom.
of climbing into an X-wing or a TIE fighter. So, I played all the flight games in the 90s, and I got pretty obsessive about them.
He's
I
got the
paused,
Force and
meticulously
Destiny
draw
source
the
book
insides
behind
Yeah,
of
him,
the
so
planets
I
and
think
stuff.
he's
And actually, I dug
really
up
into
some
I
of
was
those drawings from
looking
my
at
parents'
them all.
attic over the holidays.
We're showing them right now to the world. This strikes me as above and beyond the normal level of Star Wars fandom.
I think at Motive you'll find that quite a few people have
D&D
that
source
level of Star
books,
Wars
Force
fandom.
and Destiny.
We started this project. I talked to a lot of people as they joined the team, and a lot of them had similar kinds of stories of things they'd done as kids. One of them even built a functional
serious
cockpit in his
filler.
garage.
Like,
That's fandom on another
get it, you
level.
found a guy that
How do
likes
you guys
Star
go
Wars.
From being a fan,
Nerd.
drawing what you see in the game, or building a cockpit.
So Ian,
in
it'll
your
really
eyes
hurt you
to
when all the
actually
Star
making
Wars
it.
fans call you names
I
online.
think that fandom, just love of Star Wars, has provided a really good foundation for us. But on top of that, of course, the team at Motive got a lot of experience working with Star Wars when they worked on Battlefront
I wonder if that's actually
2.
his bookshelf.
And when Battlefront 2 wrapped up, there was a really small group of us that
Oh,
were
is that
really
the Star
into
Wars?
particularly
Is that like the
pilot
original
experience from
source
Star
book up
Wars.
there?
And we wanted to make something new, something that really went
I think that
all in
there
on
was some
that
West
part
End
of the
Game
fandom.
stuff up
Yeah.
there.
And so we did kind of a
right.
grassroots initiative,
Okay.
or started a little passion project, and that
I
ramped
was
up
looking
into
for books
eventually
from
what
the
is
current
the
ones
game
that
we're gonna show
aren't
you
just the
today.
Force and Destiny source
Yeah.
book.
You talk about, your passion for this, your
could have condensed this down
nostalgia
to
for
20
Star
minutes.
Wars flight games
I
of the
really
past.
feel.
How do you honor that but make something brand new?
What, you mean the current
It's
interview?
been interesting. We were
Like, the
trying to kind
entire
of pull from
thing,
that
like-
spiritual heritage of many different games in that time
Yeah,
period.
that's interesting. Shut
At
up.
the same time, we want to do something that feels fresh and new for fans today. And so what we've tried to look at is sort of the spiritual core of what I think are the best of the Star Wars flight games of the past. And what they did that I love is that they made that part of the universe real. The level of depth and detail that they show in the ships, the way that you control them, is something that I remember fondly from my childhood, and is something that we're trying to do very much with Squadrons. In real life, being a pilot is
Shut up,
hard.
Charlie.
It takes skill. And that's something that you'll
Sorry.
see throughout the game. As you start off playing, it's pretty straightforward, fly around, shoot your lasers. But as you get deeper into it, you start learning how to divert energy from your lasers to your engines, how to shift your shields from the front to
Ooh,
the back,
yeah,
to cover
shield
your butt in
shifting.
a dogfight. Or at the higher levels of skill, you could do really crazy stuff. Like you can boost your engines, fly ahead, cut them off, whip around 180 and shoot a missile off your own tail while drifting backwards. Like real ace pilot stuff. And that's really where we have a lot of fun.
Yeah, that
with it.
sounds pretty epic.
I want to do that.
Yeah,
I want
okay,
to learn
fair
how
enough.
to do that. I understand the nuts and bolts of how to play it. Is there a single player story? Is there a multiplayer mode? What are we getting into?
What I
It's
want to
actually some
know,
of
as
both.
Greg
So
Miller,
the
is all
game
the stuff you've already
starts with
told
a
us.
brand new single player story, takes place a little bit after Return of the Jedi, and it has kind of a unique dual perspective approach to it. So when the game starts, you're going to create two pilots. You create a New Republic
step
pilot
fire.
and an Imperial pilot, and you're going to alternate between their perspectives, mission
going
to
New
mission,
Republic,
over the
right?
course of the story. You're going to meet a diverse
I guess
cast of
so. I
characters
wanted to go
along the
Imperial,
way,
but I think
and
I'm the
also
only
a few
one.
familiar faces. Now, when you're done with that story and you've played maybe a bit of
I
the
wonder
practice
if
range, you say, hey, I
the
wanna
missions
try
are actually going to
multiplayer. We wanna
intertwine,
make
or if
it
it's just
really
like
easy for
the
you to
same
hop
mission
online
from
with your
different
friends and
perspectives.
play competitive space battles. at that
And the
point.
fact that there's a
And
practice
so
range
we've
makes
done
it
a
sound
lot
like
to
the
try to reduce
multiplayer is
barriers,
intended to be
make
more
it as
competitive
easy
as
as
well.
possible for you to play
Yeah.
with your friends. And so I'm happy to say we fully support crossplay. You could be
Didn't
on
he, like,
PS4,
indicate, like, single
Xbox
player
One,
is, like,
PC.
one kinda,
You could
like,
be
big
playing on a
tutorial in a
traditional
way?
display or in VR, which, fun fact, the entire game supports VR from beginning to end, which is pretty cool. But regardless of how you're playing, which platform, they can all play together. Just hook up with your friend, connect, have an awesome space battle.
You just Death Starred my mind, man. Like I don't.
I swear they already
That's
announced all this, right?
Awesome.
Like,
Yeah,
That is
most of it.
well, the big question: when can people actually play it?
Not too long, actually. Star Wars Squadrons is coming
really
out on
soon.
October 2nd.
Start where Squadrons.
Okay, not too long at all. I was worried about you. I thought you were going to leave me on a teaser there. You didn't. You actually delivered. I appreciate that. The next big ask
Greg
I
didn't
have
even watch
on
the
behalf
trailer.
of everybody watching, I'm sure, who came
Or
here
pay
for one
attention to the
specific
rehearsal,
reason.
apparently.
Can we see some new gameplay of it? Can we see any gameplay of it?
Absolutely. I kind of figured you might want to.
Kinda
On
figured
behalf
it.
of
Yeah,
everyone at
yeah.
Motive and the team at Lucasfilm, I am very happy
All right,
to
I'm
show
watching
you
the
the
gameplay.
world's
It's
first
amazing.
look
No
at
one to spoil
gameplay
everything.
of Star Wars Squadrons.
It's called Star Wars
Enjoy.
Squadrons, and it's by EA.
The second Death Star is gone, but the Imperial fleet is still a threat.
Let's capture this.
Vanguard Squadron, Let's make history.
This is it, Titan Squadron. Everything we've done has led to this. Finish those Vanguard scum!
This is Star Wars Squadrons. Earn your wings in a single-player story spanning 2 factions.
All stations! Fire on that ship!
And master multiplayer
Oh, that
battles as a
MC-75.
squadron of 5. With the option to play the entire game in VR. This is the definitive Star Wars pilot experience.
Come on, come on!
You'll begin your career in
That
a
already looks
single-player
much
story,
smoother than even BF2's form.
Yeah, a
where
lot
you'll
faster.
play as 2 combat pilots, flying for both the Empire and the New Republic.
This looks awesome.
Yeah.
You'll experience this world
That
through your
looks
cockpit.
so good. The skyboxes.
Instrumentation in front of you provides critical feedback about
Whoa.
power
Okay,
management,
in 5 seconds you're gonna see
targeting,
something
and
cool.
shields.
Yeah.
With a squadron of diverse characters at your side, prove your skills
Right,
on
TIE Fighter only has 2
increasingly
things.
challenging missions.
Ooh, the drift.
Yeah.
Hello, Vanguard. Welcome to the Nadiri dockyards.
One of my spies has linked the attacks with the New Republic Starhawk project.
The story of the 2 pilots you play
Stick together.
will shape the balance of power in the galaxy.
And the cockpits look so good.
Let them have it.
All the UI's like inbuilt into the ship.
Yeah.
To take the fight online, you'll need flight time with all 8 ships. Fighters are the most flexible
Not the same
and
stats.
versatile, able to handle
Interceptors
any
are fast. You're gonna hear
See
it
the
first,
shield
folks.
there?
Interceptors are fast and highly maneuverable.
Let's get them.
Ideal for hunting down your opponent's starfighters.
I want to fly an A-wing.
Support ships can keep
There's a little
allies safe and stocked
hit marker I noticed on the
up,
A-wing.
as well as disrupting enemy fighters.
Gives you a little
Yeah.
feedback when you hit something.
God, the drift, the actual flying mechanics look
Bombers
so
are the
cool.
heavy hitters,
Yeah.
able
This
to
looks
deal
fucking
devastating
amazing.
damage to enemy
Oh, it's
flagships and
customization. Fuck
starfighters.
yeah.
Like the good parts about TIE Fighter and X-Wing, but in 2020.
Unlock everything you need to customize
You can
your
get fucking
pilot and
bobbleheads. I was gonna joke about that earlier, but
simply
they're
by
actually in.
playing the game. From cosmetics to an arsenal of over
Wow.
50 components that alter how your ships fly, fight, and survive.
They're on you. I'll deal with
Oh,
You
wow.
can dramatically change your loadout
That's cool.
depending on your squadron's strategy.
So yeah, you can
Finally,
change your
products. This will be
shields, your
critical in Star
weapons,
Wars Squadron's
your hull,
multiplayer
your
mode.
engine.
First up, dogfights. This is an all-out 5v5 battle.
That was the best.
Fine-tune your loadouts to work as a team.
Moving in on the enemy.
Utilize components like tractor beams, turrets, and mines to slow down your opponents or set up your squad mates for the kill.
Rebels unmarked.
For teams looking for an even
Oh, yeah, here we
greater
go.
challenge, it's time to prove yourself in Star Wars Squadron's
Signature mode.
Fleet Battles. Fleet battles are multi-stage conflicts.
Seems
Whether
like no
playing
AI
solo
players.
or with friends, you'll have the option to compete against other players.
There's a
or
social
AI
hub. I love it.
As
That's
a
awesome.
squadron of 5.
But it looks like it's not like stocked with AI.
Meet your team in the social hub to solidify strategy, coordinate loadouts, and prepare for takeoff.
Cool. Get the boys together, crush a beer before the
First,
battle.
Push the front line by winning
no,
the dogfight
squadron.
in the center of the map.
You got to follow fleet regulations while playing. Actually, it's a
Attack or
breathalyzer to
defend 2 medium-sized
actually
capital
fight.
ships.
This looks so goddamn cool.
We've lost our capital ships.
And finally, the ultimate goal. Target and destroy
Right.
the subsystems of your opponent's massive flagship and take it down.
Shields are disabled.
At each phase, your squadron either
God,
pushes
that's so
the line
good.
forward or falls back
Yeah.
to defend.
Keep our flagships
Up
safe.
against the
It's
ISD
your
and stuff.
squadron's choice of how to play.
I'm hit.
Speedy,
Man,
unrelenting assault,
That A-wing do be zooming though.
Strike quickly.
stealth and subversion,
Jamming the enemy. Sensors can't spot you.
or brutal bombardment.
I'm getting every VR thing for the.
Yeah, I 100% want VR for this.
Did you guys notice the Raider Corvette from Battlefront 2?
Is the key to victory.
Making my attack run now. Let's make this count.
I do hope the maps will vary, like fleet loadouts and stuff.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
Is Star Wars
I noticed
Squadrons.
there was one of the fleet loadouts
Join
had
the
3
galaxy's
ships instead of 2. It
finest
had CR-90s as well. I kind of wonder whether they'll kind of just go around the battle like they did in
This galaxy.
Battlefront 2.
It did look kind of stationary there.
So I've got some additional information I can share after, if there's nothing else for this.
Shit.
I would love to be like, oh, I'm so excited to be a part of Star Wars
All
Squadrons.
right, I'm gonna mute this stream. First impressions, guys?
Really good. That looks so much better than I expected it to, and it's kind of like the field I was hoping for it to be.
Yeah, like the drifting, the actual flight mechanics look really good. Like I was kind of expecting as a baseline just a ported, cut down version of Battlefront 2's mechanics, but yeah, this looks much better than that.
Yeah, like the speed and the just the finesse and the control is way up there compared to Battlefront 2.
Yeah, deeper mechanics, which I'm always in favor of. I was worried it's going to be like, point your cursor to move the ship as opposed to being able to actually...
Well, they've confirmed you can play with a flight stick too if you want. So you can go full VR flight stick if you really want to.
That'd be awesome.
So I've got the video replaying from it while we're talking about this. So if there's something new that's going to come up on the EA Play stuff that's worth going forward to, do any of you have that open?
Oh, yeah, I've got it open.
Okay.
So there's a few more details that I've got here. So for one, TIE fighters won't have shields, but they have faster weapon firing, and they're just faster generally. And then here's all the things that you can customize. Where is that? So you've got primary weapons. These are called ship component slots, and you can swap all of these. You've got primary weapons, and then you have 2 secondary weapons. Then you have countermeasures, hull, shields, and engine. You can swap all of that out. But some of the upgrades will be unique to each ship type. So like there's a tractor beam, for example, that I'm guessing only like the large ships like the U-Wing and the TIE Reaper can use.
And you'd assume that each faction gets specific upgrades, right? Like Imperials get stuff not available to X-Wings, etc.
I would assume so. I'm not sure. And so you do get... We know that you can manage output, but you can also put shields back or forward, but I think it does slow you down a little bit. Unshielded ships like TIE fighters, and I don't know if the A-Wing has a shield, I think it does, can also more quickly transfer their power. So
that makes sense.
They're a bit more flexible. I think that's all the extra information I have. But
Oh, go on. Sorry, you go, Koi.
I was just gonna say, so the fact that there's 4 per side at the start, and it is a 5-on-5 game, it does seem like the easiest addition they could make is whatever extra class, add 1 ship per side, so B-Wing and something else most likely.
B-Wing and Defender maybe.
Yeah.
The one thing I liked about it the most and is the whole social grouping thing before a match. That's the whole thing I was kind of wanting from Squadrons, to be like a social hub for all of us to get into a game and play, because Battlefront 2 didn't really fulfill that, and this definitely feels like something we could all competitively play together.
Get really good at one like ship loadout or whatever, and then kind of run that. Like Charlie's the Y-Wing guy. For some reason,
I'd love it if we could coordinate that, but it seems like that's never going to happen.
No, we will. We'll get good at the game. Yeah.
But everyone's going to want to be X-Wing. Like no one's going to want to be the U-Wing pilot, you know?
No, I want to be.
Eck is always going to be a U-Wing.
Really?
I like the U-Wing, but I feel like I kind of want to be a Y-Wing guy. I don't know.
See, I'd go A-Wing, and then I'd be bad at A-Wing, and then I'd probably have to fly a Y-Wing.
Interceptor or bomber is something I'd probably want to go for. I think Interceptor is probably going to be, because I don't want to be the one specifically dealing out. I just want to hunt people down. My type of characteristic for gameplay is manipulation and positioning and stuff like that. So I think Interceptor could be good.
Can I convince any of you to go Imperial, or do I need to defect to like the other squadron that I'm secretly forming?
They're just not as
We
cool.
probably play both sides, but
Yeah.
Heroes on both sides. What are you talking
I'm
about?
not sure how the actual matchmaking will work.
Mhm.
Whether you get a choice on which side you're queuing up for, because it seems like it'd probably be just assigning you a side every match.
Yeah.
I hope not. I really hope you can pick your faction beforehand, because those ships did not have the same stats.
Well, then you're going to have matchmaking issues because you need an equal number of teams queuing for each thing. If you have a full queue of New Republic players but no Imperial players, then you've got to wait on games. But instead, if it's just matchmaking based on whoever's there, you can have full games all the time.
We've been waiting years, honestly, to.
It does seem like the single player campaign is going to be based around the Starhawk.
Right idea, and really, really pleased.
Yeah, sorry.
Here.
I think they're announcing new skate. I got distracted.
Yeah, they did announce new
It
skate.
takes a little while to find cuts.
Wait, did they?
Wake 'em up.
Yeah.
Yeah. People are going to be hype over that.
We've got a long way to go. But we're stoked.
So did you guys
And
catch
this
how
is
the
just
fleet battles work? Basically, it's like a tug of war, kind of. It's like there's like 3 stages. Like you start off at a dogfight stage, and then you got to kill their smaller capital ships, and then their larger capital ship, which seems like an interesting way to do
It's
it.
amazing. We
And
can't
presumably,
commented
if the defenders win the second stage, does it go back to the first stage?
That's what I was
Like, can you
wondering
have, like, a
too.
back and forth.
Yeah,
It probably does go back and forth, but it also, like, the way the second and third stage work is you're actually destroying something. So there's a permanent amount of progress that seems inherent to the system that made capital supremacy kind of terrible in Battlefront 2. Especially when it took 50 minutes to get actually to the part where you're getting to the capital ship. So this seems like it's probably going to be a faster paced game overall.
15 to 30 minute games. I'd like.
I've got an answer, by the way. The press sheet that I'm saying says you get to set a matchmaking favorite faction, and then it tries to put you in that, I guess. So someone said like Friday the 13th in chat, and that's basically exactly how it works. Like you get to prefer New Republic, but hopefully there's enough players that that's not an issue.
Taking out capital ships is really interesting because that really relies on positioning defensively as well. So, like, how are you going to stop those hard points from being eliminated and stuff? This is going to be good. I'm really
Also makes the bombers more useful.
Yeah. I don't know what you guys would want to focus on, but it's definitely either like a bomber aspect for me for the for objectives, or intercept, like chasing down other fighters when they are at their weakest and stuff like that. Those are my 2 type of gameplays I'll be focusing on. I don't know what you guys.
Eck, what's yours?
I don't know. Like the X-wing, the multi-role fighter is pretty fun, but that one scene in the trailer where like they've got the X-wing with like the sensor jamming or whatever, zooming through like the side of the Star Destroyer was pretty damn cool.
Yeah, I'm pretty much just doing TIE Interceptor and A-Wing if I can not suck at it.
But yeah,
I'd like to do fighter interceptor. Those are my top 2.
So we're all kind
of no, not really. We've all said different stuff. It's just none of us said support.
Yeah,
X sort of appreciates the U-wing, but I can also do that. It's fine.
Sometimes the gameplay surprises you though. Like maybe bomber's gonna be super fun or whatever else.
Well, I always go into games like that thinking I hate tanks and that kind of thing, but then I end up playing them the most. So
yeah. And it's cool too because there's a shot of like the TIE Reaper cockpit, and it's like huge compared to the other ones. So like the different fighters will like somewhat balance themselves just through like cockpit size, which is kind of interesting. Because like the Reaper one is very slow, but it's also that's the end of the EA Play. But they might have that means that they'll probably have the video uploaded soon. Oh yeah,
you can still scrub back into it.
The official gameplay trailer's up. Also, guys, if you're interested, on the main channel or my other channel, I've got another breakdown if you'd rather watch that, but you don't have to.
Official gameplay trailer.
But Eck, it just aired. How did you?
Through the power
How
of
did you record another
magic.
Oh, The Gathering?
I had my second Charlie do it while he was editing it as we were doing it live.
What do you mean second Charlie? What you haven't cloned me again, have you? Again?
You keep tripping on stuff and impaling yourself. We can't.
To be honest, I like Bizarro Charlie more than regular Charlie. So,
which one is that?
So I say some really asinine stuff every now and then.
But yeah, that's definitely the end of EA Play, right? Like I don't think there's anything else.
Yeah, it's over.
Okay, that was kind of a
Mass Effect.
There's only like 2 new games really. Well, there's the indie ones, Squadrons and Skate. Was that basically it?
Yeah.
I didn't even see any gameplay for Skate.
No, they didn't have any. They said it's still pretty far off. Do you guys want to give the gameplay trailer another watch through?
Yeah, let's one.
I've already got it playing.
But FIFA 21 cancelled, guys. FIFA's gone.
All right, I'm gonna load up the same video you have so we can watch it from the same same time.
Yeah, we're gonna do a countdown here.
Yes.
Oh, that's not it.
Okay, good talk, guys.
I still can't believe the secret code was EA Play Live.
What did you expect?
Yeah.
It spells out Mark.
I did notice a New Republic Lambda shuttle, which was kind of interesting. They were shooting at the TIE fighter was shooting at a Lambda shuttle.
No, that was a support component. They were talking about you can even support your allies, and I'm pretty sure that thing was reloading the Lambda, wasn't it?
No, the supports the. Oh, was it?
We'll see.
That's what I thought, because like the dialogue seemed like it was an allied thing.
All right, you guys ready to start?
Yeah, let's do it.
3, 2, 1, go.
Made by EA and Motive.
Good start.
Represents game in development.
Okay.
Star Wars Squadrons.
This guy looks like Grief Karga from The Mandalorian. He's got like this exact same jacket.
Let's make history.
This is it, Titan Squadron.
Okay, you can blow up GR-75s.
Do that every day.
Yeah.
God, I have to get VR for this.
Yeah.
I gotta say, the Star Destroyer model is way upgraded from Battlefront 2, I noticed.
Upgraded in terms of graphic fidelity, or
the model just better, yeah.
Yeah.
With the option to play the entire game in VR. This is the definitive Star Wars.
There's a lot of details about the enemy ships, like you get distance, health, the ship name, orientation, I think.
That mini-map's going to be so vital as well, depending on what cockpit you have.
Yeah.
The single player writing still isn't really doing it for me, though.
Yeah.
You'll experience this world through your cockpit.
It's crazy how different all the cockpits are too. Like they're each 100% individually designed. Maybe not the TIE pilot and or TIE fighter and interceptor, but
it looks like they're fair. Like the layout is fairly different for them. Not super different, but some differences.
Welcome to the Nadiri dockyard.
One of my spies has linked the attacks with the New Republic Starhawk project.
The story of the 2 pilots you play
Stick together.
will shape the balance of power in the galaxy.
Get ready.
Let him have it.
there's one Rebel fighter with just a really shitty cockpit. I don't know if that's the X-wing or the Y-wing, but one of them doesn't even have like their own ship on it.
I think it's the Y-wing.
Yeah, I think so too. I like the shielding effects on that capital ship.
We might want to at some point stop at the stats here, because they are definitely not the same.
They are the same. I checked earlier. I think. Maybe not. No, yeah. Oh, yeah, maybe you're right. He was stocking it up.
TIE Interceptor and A-Wing are different.
You're right. You were right, Mark. Corey, did you notice they're using the Legends New Republic logo there?
I did not.
You know the one with the
Reddit.
The one with the stars around around it.
Simply by playing the game. From cosmetics to an arsenal of over 50 components that alter how your ships fly.
There's the Slam engine, which was in TIE Fighter. Do you guys want to go back on the components screen there? Take a look at it.
I was going to suggest that.
What's the timestamp?
250, I think.
Yeah, 250.
Okay, I'm there.
So you can kind of, there's a lot of stuff there. Tractor beam, repair droid, Baradium torpedo, Slam engine, which is like the booster engine. Any that are jumping out at you guys?
I don't know what Mimic Beacon means.
Probably puts like a
throw off your radar.
Yeah, fake radar blip or whatever.
Oh, sick.
Shield, conversion shield, sublate engine. You can move in this game?
What?
Baradium is really fucking powerful and everything, so that's... assuming they didn't just go with it as a flavor word. There's chaff particles, so that was something we were talking about in the initial stream we did.
I just realized these are separated by so the first one's primary weapons, and then the next two are probably like the secondary weapons. And then it's shield or like defensive, and then hull, and then engine. Except there's some that are out of order, but yeah.
Is there anything here that would throw off enemy players like the mimic beacon?
Squadron mask,
yeah,
maybe.
Squadron mask would be something like that. Sensor jammer, sensor inverter.
Squadron mask is like right in the middle, the bottom left of the middle
4 and 5.
Yeah. Jam, like a targeting jammer. Well, no, it would. That's for more defensive, isn't it?
But it seems like there's a lot of options anyway.
Sensor inverter, that's another one.
So some of these will be unique to certain ships as well. Like, I assume the tractor beam is only for the U-wing and the Reaper because they're so large.
Yeah. That's at least what it seemed like it was implying with the breakdown.
And I assume the bombs might only be for the bombers as well. You guys want to continue the video?
Sure. Yeah.
All
Tell me when.
3, 2, 1.
That alter how your ships fly, fight, and survive.
If they make a joystick for this game, would you get it?
You should be able to use any flight joystick that exists.
Yeah, you might be better off getting a purpose-built one rather than a cheap Star Wars kind of.
Yeah, exactly.
One,
you guys mean business.
I'm going to be using an actual F-15 console.
There's a lot of little blips on the radar or the sensor, like little stars and stuff. And there's like, there's one that's like a shield, and I've been trying to figure out what that is, but I can't. Mine is cool.
Like, it looks like the flight is just drifty enough to enable those kind of
what do they call it again?
Star Wars Squadrons.
No, like the drifting, it's like there's the pedal for it. Can't remember the name of it.
Don't worry, I got him for you. Meet your team in the social hub to solidify strategy.
Yeah, see there's 3 capital ships. Well, one was like a Corvette, but weren't those the ethereal rudders or whatever? Etheric rudders? Isn't that what they?
Yeah, that's how the books talk about. But I mean, just like the actual.
Yeah. Kind of like what Poe does in Episode 8.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know if you noticed, but at where is it? One of the scenes clearly has like a Resurgent Star Destroyer model instead of an Imperial Star Destroyer. Where is it?
I did not notice that.
I didn't notice.
So they also are labeling those as shield generators, which is fine.
Oh, the sensor things?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are they not shield generators?
It's questionable.
Seems like the capital ships actually fire at the players too. Like they're putting out a lot of. Oh, at
lasers that are going back and forth.
Yeah. At 416, like that's not an ISD.
I'm gonna let it finish out. You know what? I'll just. Yeah, that is Resurgent. Yeah. It looks like. Maybe.
100%.
Well, did the Resurgents have the dip on the side?
I thought so.
Because ISDs do, and like if you look at how the Architens are stylized, then it's not out of the question to me that is their representation of the ISD.
They do have the dip on the side, yeah.
If you want to see, because you've got the 2 Architens and then the Resurgents, they show it again at 423. But 3D models.
Because the ISD doesn't have that kind of rear triangle bit. But
do you think they stole that model from some fan and just put it in the game?
Possible.
Yeah, they show it again at 423.
I think they also used the wrong New Republic logo, but
yeah, I think this is the that shot at 423 is meant to be that same one from 416. So that's an ISD. It's not a resurgent.
Yeah, but the ISD doesn't have like that rear. Yeah. It's definitely meant to be that. I just think it's a graphical mistake, I guess.
No, because it's just showing the engines.
The ISD doesn't have like that little overhang in the back.
I don't think that's an overhang. I think that's just the engine locations.
Stay together, strike quickly.
Yeah, you could be right.
Because yeah, that's just the engines coming out, and then it's the weird, like it's proportioned really weirdly, but because that's just the slanted part that goes from just in front of the engines up to the bridge, with the smaller diamond being the bridge.
I unironically love that this is what we're focusing on, by the way.
Well, this is going to be interesting.
Yeah, I'm excited. That was a good gameplay trailer.
I'm chuffed.
Is that good or bad?
Oh, that's good. That's good. Chuffed
That's a
me.
right proper real chuff. That is.
Yeah, I'm bloody chuffed me. I'm grinning from ear to ear.
There's a lot of nice detail on the fighters when they take like the rebel ships when they take damage. They have nice little shield bursts.
Yeah,
it's really good.
You can really see with the CR90 towards the start.
Yeah. Yeah, it's got like a full shield bubble.
All right.
Anything you guys want to add? I think we're near the end of this stream and slash podcast. Anything you guys would like to add to finish off? Or Mark, would you like to plug your socials?
Not really, but I do want to complain about... I'll do that after this. So the one line that I really didn't like was when the general is giving that briefing to the pilots. And it begins with, one of my spies has linked the whatever to the whatever. And it's just like, I don't think the Army or the Air Force works like that. Like, I don't think in World War II you had like just some Air Force general or Air Army Corps general show up at Pearl Harbor and be like, one of my spies has linked the attack on Pearl Harbor to the Japanese. It's just, it's a very video game thing. I wish they had like brought in actual pilots and people who've been in the real world Air Force to kind of consult on that. But yeah, if for some reason you want more of my thoughts, you can find me at the Templin Institute. My website's templin.institute, and go there, you'll find all the rest.
Very cool. Charlie?
Thanks for joining the website.
Yeah, thank you for joining us. Maybe we'll get you on a future Tapcast.
I should be
Maybe.
so lucky.
We'll see.
We'll see how this performs.
Charlie, do you want to plug anything for yourself? Maybe your what's that furry fan fiction website again?
Oh, okay. You were. I thought you were going to mention. Oh,
narrow it down to your top 5.
Your ArtStation page.
Yeah, it's crystalclear.furaffinity.com. I'm joking.
Is he joking?
But my channel's The Family Bovine, youtube.com/Family Bovine. And we haven't put enough time into those beautiful skyboxes, but that's okay. We'll talk about it another time.
All right. So anything else you want to mention, Corey?
Well, I think we've all learned a lot today. It was an enjoyable stream. Eck, did you end it already?
No, because we're doing a podcast. I'm not going to cut you off.
Well, so he does this thing where he just stops the stream after. So